Alright. Rock and roll. Okay, today I'm talking about paranoia and being stalked by paranoia. Okay, basically I have been, for the last 72 hours, stalked by paranoia. I've had paranoia in the past where I get paranoid about silly things like the world ending. You see a video saying something about, oh, we're going to hit by an asteroid, or, you know, the usual crap, world ending type nonsense. And I'll get paranoid about it, and it'll last a couple of days to a week or so. Anyway, this is paranoia that I've had the last 72 hours or so is different in as much as I've been paranoid about my partner. Now, I know without a doubt that my man loves me because of the way he treats me. I mean, there's obviously, like any relationship, we have our times where he treats me like absolute shit, but the majority of the time my man treats me with the utmost love, compassion, gentleness, understanding, giving. I mean, there's just so much love there and caring that it's hard to say he doesn't love me, because he shows it in so many ways. And this paranoia thing that's been stalking me for the last few days has just been out on the edges and coming in, and then out on the edges, and then coming in, and out on the edges and coming in, and it's just, and I just don't get where it comes from. Let me tell you. Basically, I was in the shower getting ready for work on, I think it was Monday. Tim doesn't work on a Monday because he runs his shop and he works on a Saturday, so Mondays are his day off along with Sunday. So Monday I go into work, and I was in the shower. Now, we never get visitors at the house. It just doesn't happen. It's extremely rare. I mean, that they are invited. I don't allow people to just pitch up because I'm an absolute slob. I really am an absolute slob. I have to dash around cleaning and tidying up for about 5 hours before we get visitors. I mean, it's just, I'm a slob in the story. I am probably too used to having had a maid, being an ex-South African, having lived in South Africa where we had maids, having lived in Rhodesia where we had sorry, it's not being racist, this is what they were called back then, house boys. So I am a lazy little fucker. I'm a slob. Anyway, so suffice to say, we don't get visitors to the house unless we phone and say, would you like to come around? Which we don't do because we just don't do it. We're not social in that regard. We'd rather go out to one of our kinky fetish clubs and have fun in a kinky club than stay home. So I'm in the shower and I'm totally unaware of this, but somebody rang the doorbell and pitched up at the house to visit Tim. Anyway, I finish out the shower and I come out the shower and come out into the bedroom. Tim's not there. I'm like, oh. And I'm singing and I can hear a low rumbling of voices. I think, oh, what's that? And I stop singing and I listen. I peer over the balcony, not the balcony, the banister. I can hear voices coming from the kitchen. Can't even make up and say my hearing is absolutely crap. I can just hear them talking. Voices rumbling in the background. And, oh, who's here? Who's he talking to? Anyway, so I carry on getting dressed, doing makeup and what have you. They, in the meantime, have made cups of tea and they go and stand outside in the sunlight in the front garden, which is directly beneath the bedroom window. And I can just hear the low rumbling of voices. I don't hear what's being said. Anyway, my curiosity on who this person is. Now, no offense to tattooed people, because my partner is covered in tattoos from head to toe. I mean, he's a tattoo artist, so I don't have any objections to tattoos. But there are I can't think of the word, bias towards people who are tattooed. Well, I have to say, this man was tattooed like Tim is, and he's big like Tim, just not as wooded stomached as Tim is. And I looked at him, who's this bloke? Don't know who he is. Anyway, I come downstairs and meet the person. And when he leaves, our exchange is very brief. I left and went to work. When I came back from work, Tim was laughing when I asked him about who this person was, and he laughed and he said, well, yeah, he's a mate, a long-time mate. He's just popped around to give me something. You need him to say what? Oh, I actually shattered because I've been up all night with this paranoia. Anyway, so I'm thinking to myself, well, why won't you tell me what it is? Because he's normally very open with me. Tell me what it is. Oh, I didn't push it, but my mind starts working now. Now the paranoia is starting to kick in, and the cogs are turning and creaking and groaning as they're building up their speed and whatever. Okay. Well, Tim says, I said, oh, you know what I like about having people at the house? The house is an absolute shithole at the moment. He said, yes, as we laughed about that. I made a comment that the bitch doesn't keep the house very, very tidy or clean. And this friend of his commented, well, sling her out, mate. I'll help you. Come on. Sling the bitch out. But of course, it was all said in jest. But I didn't take it that way. My first thoughts were, Tim wants me out. He's been cagey about this man. This is a hitman. This bloke has come to the house to ID me. And there's going to be a hit on me. It's like, where the fuck did this come from? Well, I didn't stop obsessing of it. It came and went and came and went and came and went and came and went till last night. 1:30 in the morning. It went off the charts. A text came in from one of the girls that Tim plays with on a regular basis. For those that don't know, we're into a fetish lifestyle. Tim is polyamorous, I'm monogamous, and he plays kinky play with other women. Anyway, at 2:00 this morning, just as I'm just starting to doze off, text comes in for Tim on his phone. And it's from this one girl that he plays with regularly. I think, well, what the fuck? They know not to text after a certain time of night. That's, it's just breaking the fucking rules. So I got up and I answered the phone. Well, I didn't answer the phone, I read the text. And there's just, why to lie? She's not English. Why to lie? Well, that's really weird. So then I looked back and I thought, well, what did I do tonight, or what did we do tonight, that may have caused her to come up with such a strange message? So I went and checked in my mind what was done on FetLife by Tim and what was done on FetLife by me. Tim didn't do anything on FetLife. He made no comments in the last 24, 48 hours other than liking a picture. I, on the other hand, just before bedtime, put us down as attending a BDSM house party at a certain date in the future. That's the only thing that was done. So I'm thinking, well, what's going on? What's happened? And well, somehow in this madly wired brain of mine that is so badly connected and badly wired, I came to the conclusion that it must be something to do with the fact that I've marked us as going to this party. And she has said, why to lie? So obviously Tim has said something to her that I'm going to be out of his life by such and such a date, and blah, 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 blah. So why lying? Is she asking, why is he lying? Because we've marked us to going to this party, and I'm supposed to be out of his life by this date, according to my badly wired brain. Well, I did not stop. At about 3:30, I got up and came downstairs and farting about on the PC, and my brain just didn't stop, and I was paranoid about how he is going to kill me. There's murder afoot. There's a plot to murder me afoot, to get me out of his life. Why doesn't he just tell me he wants me out of his life and I'll fuck off? But no, my brain, being as fucked as it is, said otherwise. I'm sitting here being paranoid, and the whole time I've got this other little voice in the back saying, he loves you. He treats you so well. He treats you with so much compassion, caring, and understanding. Despite your being an absolute bitch, despite you being as nuttier than a fruitcake, and as mental as a fucking arsehole. But that little voice gets overridden by what else is going on in the head. It's like the static here drowns it out. And I just can't understand where all this bullshit comes from. I mean, I know I'm medication free now. I've been medication free for a few months, and I've cleared my system out of the fluoxetine that I've been on for the last 25 odd years. But I did not expect paranoia like this to be one of the things that's going to be dragging me down. It's exhausting. I mean, besides the fact that I didn't get any sleep, it's just exhausting, because there's this war going on in my head. The logical part of me is arguing that it's impossible. He's not going to do something like that. It's just not the way he is. Is completely opposite to what my mind is trying to tell me. And it's just so tiring. I am physically and mentally drained. I'm exhausted from this. I feel like I've been through one of my rages almost, which I haven't. But it's the same sort of feeling. I just feel drained, I feel tired, and I feel so broken. And that's what I told Tim. Because Tim came down at 6:30, looking really concerned, and saying, well, where are you? What are you doing? And of course I was, go back to bed, blah, 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 go back to bed, blah, 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 go back to bed. And he said, no, you come back to bed now. You've got to sleep. You've got to go to work in the morning. I said, all right, I'll be up in a minute. And he went back up, and 2 minutes later he called me. He said, come on, Jen, get your ass upstairs, come back to bed. Which I then reluctantly switched off the PC and went up to bed. Got into bed, and he held me. I snuggled up against him. He put his arm around me and held me. And he said, what's going on? And I said, this is what's going on. I'm broken. And I'm being paranoid. And paranoia is stalking me. And this is what I've been thinking. And this is what I think your friend is. Your friend is a hitman. And well, he tried not to laugh, but he did laugh. When I said that, he said, well, you know, so-and-so's never been called that before. He's been called many things, but not that. So, I mean, we could see the amusing side of it, but I was, you know, little tears were coming down, and Tim was hugging me and holding me. And I said to him, I just feel so broken. I just feel broken. I need fixing. And he squeezed me and held me hard, and he said, Jen, you probably are broken. But you know what? And I said, what? And he said, I'm here to look after you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to take care of you. And he said it with such emotion and such care in his voice. And I mean, I know he loves me. I know that. I don't doubt it. But the he's saying this to me, and I'm still lying there, and I'm still thinking, But 5-10 minutes later, the paranoia was gone, and I felt secure again. How the hell does paranoia like that come out of nowhere, grow out of nothing into what it grew into? And it's just so hard to comprehend. It's hard to understand how it works. I just don't get it. I mean, I've looked at the psychology of things, and I've thought to myself, perhaps it's a deep-seated thing that I think I should have been put to death at birth and shouldn't be allowed to live because I'm so chemically fucked in the head. But I obviously wasn't born that way. I became that way over a period of time. But looking at the way animals abandon deformed or malformed or injured or whatever young, they kill them, or they eat them, or they just abandon them. Going along that sort of thinking, I suppose it's almost Nazi-ish. There is a specific term for it. When something is defective, do away with it. And keeping only the fittest, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't. The logical me doesn't think like that. So no offense to anybody out there who's disabled. Okay, this is a supposition or a surmisation that I'm trying to form and put together some sort of understanding of how or where my thinking has come from. I just don't understand how I could have come up with what I've come up with, that he's going to kill me. I know I have feelings and thoughts of I shouldn't be alive because I'm fucked in the head. I'm defective and I should be done away with. And I know that. It's probably very deep-seated stuff, and it's probably coming up and rising up in the form of the paranoia that Tim is going to kill me because I'm defective. So my thoughts are projecting onto Tim and turning Tim into a killer to kill me. That's the only psychological way I can read things. It's the psychology of it. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. But that's my breakdown and build up, or whatever you want to call it. Trying to understand how it happened, where it came from. But paranoia is just another thing I have to deal with on a daily basis. Oh my God. How do we cope? How do we live? How do we get by? I was told tonight on FetLife, because I wrote about this in my journal on FetLife as well. There's one thing that helps bring me back down to earth, and that is writing. If I'm feeling suicidal, which I will never, ever do, I will never commit suicide because I'm a coward, as I said before in a previous video. I believe if I killed myself and I've got another 20 years to live on this earth plane, I will be sent back to serve out that sentence for that 20 years, and then I'll die to move on to the next whatever. So when I die, I want to leave. That's it. I do not want to come back here. I'm adamant about that. So I will never, ever commit suicide. But I do have suicidal thoughts when I get depressed. And, well, when that happens, I generally write. I once wrote a book of poetry. It is actually quite a nice book, but I haven't published it. Perhaps I should put it on the PC, and I should publish it. Because the PC I did it on originally is long gone. Publish it in one of those ebooks. Probably actually a good idea. I might just do that as a little project. Problem is, I don't have the patience to retype all of it onto the PC. I'm too fucking lazy. Anyway, I've distracted myself. Cannot remember what the hell I was talking about. I've lost my complete train of thought. Nothing new there. Nothing new there at all. What was I talking about? Can't remember. Ah, well. Paranoia. I've just got to deal with it. Just got to deal with it. That's another thing I have to put up with. Well, that's my funny little story for the day. We had loads of fun last night. We went to a munch, which, if you don't know what a munch is a gathering of kinky BDSMers and fetishists in a vanilla setting. A vanilla setting is those that are not into kink or fetish or BDSM, bondage. So we went to a pub. We had a vanilla get together and drinks, and it was really, really lovely. We had a super evening until I got home, of course, and had the paranoia setback. And that's it, really. Till next time. Cheers.